Welcome back to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast, where we talk about all things smoked meat and so much more, including hilarious stories about our farm-to-table lifestyle and our love of the outdoors. I'm your host, Trevor. This week we're talking about pulled pork sandwiches, an absolute classic. Remember, the full video with recipe gets posted to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast group on Facebook. We're growing a community of barbecue and cooking enthusiasts. Be sure to post your pictures and videos, ask questions, and discuss with other members. You can hit subscribe on any of the BBQ Beautiful Reels to join, and while you're there, give us a like to grow this community even more. Don't forget to get qualified for the Barbecue Brag to Win giveaway contest. Episode 45, let's do this. Today we are building a sandwich that doesn't just feed people, changes the weather in your neighborhood, it makes your dog sit better. It gets your mailman to stop and say, "Hey, you got any extras?" We're talking about a classic, the pulled pork sandwich. Done the barbecue beautiful way, stacked high, dripping with sweet heat sauce, wearing a crown of tangy jalapeno slaw. This is the sandwich that makes you a legend. Now, I'm not just tossing around words like best lightly. I mean best as in even your picky cousin who thinks ketchup is spicy is going back for seconds. I'm talking best as in your partner looks across the table with that face that says, "We need to buy a bigger smoker." The road to greatness is simple. Good meat, good smoke, good rest, and good balance. Today, I'm walking you through the entire journey, from choosing the shoulder to the final two-handed bite where you forget your name for a second. Let's light the fire. You can't paint a masterpiece on a napkin. You need a canvas. In barbecue, the bone-in pork shoulder, also known as a Boston butt, is the Michelangelo ceiling. It's forgiving, fatty, and full of connective tissue that turns to silk if you treat it right. I like an 8 to 10 pounder for most backyard cooks. Big enough to feed a crowd, small enough to fit on a standard backyard smoker without rolling it out like luggage. Bone-in matters. Why? Because that scapula bone is built-in doneness insurance. When the cook is right, that bone slides out like it's embarrassed to be there. Plus, that central bone helps conduct heat into the roast so it cooks evenly. Let's talk trimming. Don't go Edward Scissorhands on this thing. Trim hard exterior fat and any silver skin, but leave about a 1/4-inch fat cap in places. The fat protects during the smoke and lubricates flavor. We're not looking for a seamless cap like a brisket. We're aiming for a smoothish surface so rub can grab and bark can build. Speaking of the bark, rub equals crust, which equals character. We're building a rub that's salt forward for penetration, pepper forward for bite, with color and sweet notes for caramelization. Here's the backbone. Kosher salt and coarse black pepper. Smoked paprika, garlic powder and onion powder, brown sugar, a little mustard powder, and optional cayenne. And don't forget, I always recommend BBQ Beautiful Honey Heat on pork shoulders. Binder, I'm a yellow mustard guy. Not because I'm trying to get mustard flavor in the pork. Trust me, you won't taste it. But because it grabs like Velcro and helps it set tight. Slather lightly, season generously, and don't be shy. This is a big cut of meat, and it can take it. You've now got a seasoned shoulder that smells like a promise. Let's make it real. Fire up your smoker to 250. That's the sweet spot for a pork shoulder that renders fat, builds bark, and doesn't hog your entire day. Can you do 225? Yep. Longer cook, softer bark. Can you do 275? Absolutely. Shorter cook time, still juicy, bark gets more robust. Today we're cruising at 250 because it makes timing predictable for most backyard setups. Wood choice matters, but don't overthink it. Hickory and pecan are my go-tos for pork. Bold but not harsh with a nutty backbone. Apple or cherry will soften the smoke and bring a rosy hue. Great if your audience likes a gentle kiss of smoke. You can blend hickory base with a few apple chunks. This is a classic one for a 2-punch. Set your shoulder on the grate, fat side toward the hotter zone if your smoker has a personality. Close the lid. You're not just cooking the meat, you're starting a story. For the first 2 hours, keep your hands off. Let the rub adhere, let the smoke do its thing. After 2 hours, crack the lid and check your bark. If it looks like a teenager's first tan, pale and shy, close up the lid and keep the smoke rolling. Once the bark starts to darken and tighten, around the 2 to 3 hour mark, it's time to start spritzing. A light mist of apple cider vinegar and apple juice every hour to help the smoke particles stick and keep the surface from drying out. Not a shower, a mist. We're moisturizing here, not baptizing. At 160 to 165, you'll hit the notorious stall. It's not a myth. It's meat sweating, surface evaporation cooling the roast like an AC unit. This is the point where first-time pitmasters question their life choices. Don't. This is where butcher paper comes in and becomes your best friend. Why paper? It's breathable enough to preserve bark, but tight enough to push through that stall. Foil works too, even faster, but it can steam and get the bark soft. I'm a paper guy for pork. Lay 2 wide sheets, plunk the shoulder down, tuck it in like a burrito, and back onto the pit it goes. From here, the climb from 165 to 203, 205 internal goes smoother. Remember, you're looking for probe tender. That feel when a temp probe or skewer slides in like warm butter. Check a few spots. The shoulder is a landscape with hills and valleys. Can you push to 208? Sometimes yes. Every shoulder is a little different. Fat content varies, connective tissue and density varies. Doneness isn't a number, it's a feeling. At around 200, start probing. When it's tender all over, pull it. But don't shred it yet, not even close. If the cook is the journey, the rest is the destination. Leaving meat to rest allows juices to redistribute and carry over heat, finish breaking down collagen so you get that silky, shreddable perfection. With the wrap still on, shoulder goes into a dry cooler or a warm oven around 160 for at least an hour, ideally 2. Here's the trick a lot of folks skip. Save your juices when you unwrap. There's a little juice bath in the paper or foil. This is gold. Don't toss it. We'll use it to moisten the pork when we pull. Now for the sacred moment. Gloved up, cotton liners under nitrile gloves, unless you enjoy the feeling of the sun. Remove the bone. It should slide out clean, with just a glossy sheen of fat. That's the good stuff. Pull the pork by hand into silky strands and mix the barky outer bits with the soft inner meat for texture contrast. Big chunks, tear them smaller, but don't overshred. It'll dry faster. Add back in the reserved juices and toss gently like a salad. This is when I add a light drizzle of BBQ Beautiful honey heat. Not a dousing, a drizzle. To glaze the meat with sweet heat shine without drowning the smoke and pork flavor. You want people to taste pork first, rub second, smoke third, and sauce last. That's the hierarchy. Take a breath, smell it, it's a victory. Pulled pork on its own is a whole mood, but the sandwich, that's a duet. You need acid and crunch to cut through all that luscious fat and salt. This slaw isn't a side character, it's a co-lead. Here's the slaw that balances the entire bite. Half a head green cabbage thinly sliced. Half a head purple cabbage thinly sliced. 2 carrots shredded. Half a red onion thinly sliced. 1 jalapeno minced. Seed if your audience is spice-minded. Half cup mayo, 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon honey, half a teaspoon celery seed, and salt and pepper to taste. Whisk the dressing first, mayo, vinegar, Dijon, honey, celery seed, salt, pepper, then toss with the veg. Let it chill for 30 minutes in the fridge so the salt pulls moisture and the flavors marry. You want it creamy but bright, with a little zip from the jalapeno. On a scale of limp picnic slaw to crunchy coleslaw armoire, we're landing in the crunchy but cooperative middle. Why this slaw works? Mayo gives the body, vinegar cuts the fat, jalapeno keeps it from being boring, purple cabbage looks like you meant to impress someone. Buns? The buns matter. You want a bun that toasts well, compresses gently, and doesn't disintegrate under pressure. Brioche brings buttery sweetness. Potato rolls hold up. Sesame bakery buns add nostalgia. Toast them, light butter face down on a hot skillet or griddle until golden. Toasting is a raincoat for your bun. Here's the sequence. Bottom bun. Mound of pulled pork, not shredded into oblivion, just loose, juicy strands. Drizzle of honey heat, don't paint the house, we're accenting here. Scoop of jalapeno slaw, big enough to add crunch, not so big it turns your sandwich into a salad. Top bun, gently press. Optional upgrades if you're feeling bougie. Dill pickle chips, crispy fried onions, a whisper of spicy chimney. If you want a green herby twist, but honestly, the core build doesn't need help. It's already in the Hall of Fame. Take the first bite. If you're not making a small involuntary noise, check your pulse. Now for the full recipe. 1 bone-in pork shoulder, 8 to 10 pounds, 1/4 cup kosher salt, 1/4 cup coarse black pepper, 2 tablespoons smoked paprika, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 1 tablespoon mustard powder, 1 tablespoon cayenne. And again, I love adding 3 tablespoons BBQ Beautiful honey heat. Half a cup yellow mustard for the binder, 1 cup apple cider vinegar with half a cup apple juice for the spritz, and then the BBQ Beautiful honey heat to finish. Method. Trim the fat to 1/4 inch, mustard binder, mix, rub, and coat generously. Smoke at 250. Try a hickory pecan mix. Don't spritz for the first 2 hours, then spritz hourly. At 165, wrap in butcher paper. Cook until internal 203, 205, or probe tender. Rest in a cooler 1 to 2 hours. Pull, mix in juices, and drizzle that honey heat. For the tangy jalapeno slaw, half a head green cabbage, half a head purple cabbage, 2 carrots, half red onion, 1 jalapeno. Dressing, half a cup mayo, 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon Dijon, 1 tablespoon honey, and half a teaspoon celery seed. And don't forget that salt and pepper to taste. Whisk the dressing, toss with veg, chill for 30 minutes. For the sandwich build, toast your brioche or potato buns. Pull the pork, lightly sauce, slaw, top bun. Again, optional pickles or crispy onions. Now, here's some pro tips. Troubleshooting. My bark turned soft after wrapping. That's normal. Paper preserves more bark than foil. But you'll lose a bit of crunch. The fix, after the rest, you can put the unwrapped shoulder back on a 300 Fahrenheit pit for 10 to 15 minutes to firm up the crust before pulling. Make sure you don't overdo this, it can dry out the edges. The bone didn't slide out clean. Either it wasn't cooked tender enough or you didn't rest long enough. If you're still at the pit, keep cooking until probe tender. If you're already off, wrap and hold warm for another hour. Rest performs miracles. My pork is a little dry. Don't forget to mix in those saved juices and a splash of warm apple juice or pork broth, and a light drizzle of sauce. Also, don't shred too fine. The finer it is, the faster it dries. I don't have butcher paper. Use foil and lower your spritzing early to avoid a washed out bark. After it's done, vent the foil for a minute before resting to stop the steaming. I only have a gas grill. 2-zone setup. Pan of water under the cool side. Wood chunks in a smoker box over the hot side. Keep the shoulder on the cool side at 250. You can still make magic. How far in advance can I make this? Cook the day of if you can. If not, pull, mix with juices, cool, then reheat covered in a 300 Fahrenheit oven with a splash of apple juice until warm through. Add sauce after, rehydrating, not before. What if I want Carolina style? Sauce with a vinegar pepper sauce instead of sweet heat. Pile on a white sesame bun with slaw. That's a different lane, equally legendary. Why pork shoulder loves smoke? Collagen becomes gelatin around 195 to 205. That's your tenderness. Fat renders slowly, basting from within. Sugar in your rub caramelizes, darkening the bark. Acid in the spritz and slaw wakes your palate back up so every bite tastes like the first. And that hierarchy again, because it matters. Meat first, rub second, smoke third, sauce last. If your sandwich tastes like sauce first, you made a sloppy Joe with extra steps. Pull it back. If you're feeding people, not just filling them, add a side or two to turn your backyard into a place people talk about later. Side 1, pickle tray. Dill chips, spicy spears, bread and butter coins. It's a reset button between bites. Side 2, charred corn salad. Grilled corn, lime cilantro, a little cojita, bright, sweet, snappy. Side 3, smoked beans with bacon jam. Rich, sticky, sweet, complements the pork without outshining it. Drink pairings, beer, a crisp pilsner, or a malty amber ale. Whiskey, a high rye bourbon that brings spice against the sweet pork. For non-alcoholic, sweet tea with lemon or a tart lemonade to cut through the fat. If you're feeling extra, a quick apple cabbage relish, just dice Granny Smith with a squeeze of lemon and pinch of salt, sprinkled over the slaw for sparkle. Try it on one sandwich and see if it doesn't make you grin. You know you've nailed a cook when conversation stops. The first time I served this sandwich, I looked up to pitch an idea about cornbread croutons and realized nobody was listening. Heads down, elbows up, sauce smudged, forming perfect little half moons on everyone's hands. That's the silence test. Compliments are nice, but silence, that's reverence. A pulled pork sandwich isn't just food, it's a crowd leveler, it's an olive branch. It's how you introduce yourself to a new neighbor and instantly skip to the borrow tools each other phase. Now let's map out your day so you can hit dinner time glory without panic. The day before, trim the shoulder, season heavy, wrap and refrigerate. Dry brining overnight draws salt deeper and makes your bark better. Cook day, 6:30, have your coffee, fire the pit up to 250. 7 a.m., shoulder on, no spritzing for 2 hours. 9, begin hourly spritzing with apple cider vinegar and apple juice. Noonish, you should be near the stall. Wrap in butcher paper around 165. 2 to 3 p.m., start probing around 200. Pull when it's buttery tender. 3 to 4, rest in that cooler. Meanwhile, make slaw, toast buns right before serving. 5 p.m., pull, sauce lightly, build sandwiches, cue the silence test. If you're cooking at 275, shift everything up by an hour or so. And if you're cooking at 225, stretch this timeline. This might be a sunrise cook. Either way, the rest is your buffer. Early is fine, late is not. Variations if you're feeling daring. Carolina Red. Toss pulled pork with a vinegar pepper sauce, top with slaw, serve on a sesame bun. Al pasture and edge, a little pineapple juice in your spritz. A dusting of ancho in your rub, and a whisper of grilled pineapple on the sandwich. Smoked chimney finish. Finish pulled pork with a spoon of BBQ Beautiful spicy chimney, herbaceous, spicy, bright. Hot honey crunch, drizzle honey heat and add crispy fried onions. You'll make enemies with how good it is. Now, why this sandwich works? It's not just the recipe, it's the design. You've got contrasts in every direction. Texture, bark crunch versus soft strands versus slaw snap. Flavor, savory pork, smoky rub, sweet heat sauce, and acidic slaw. Temperature, warm meat, cool slaw. Aromatics, garlic, onion rub, wood smoke, jalapeno brightness. That balance is what keeps you going back for another bite. It's why the last bite is as interesting as the first. It's why your guests lick their thumbs and pretend they don't. All right, if you're still listening, imagine this. You're at home. Do it with me. Bun on the board, golden toast lines. Pork lands in loose tumble, steam fogging your glasses. A modest ribbon of honey heat, amber and glossy. A crown of jalapeno slaw, greens, purples, orange, and a little red halo. Cap at press. The drip hits the cutting board like a little drum beat. You pick it up with two hands because you respect it. You bite. You forget whatever you were mad about that day. That's BBQ Beautiful. Here's the challenge for the week. Make this sandwich. Don't tweak it to death on your first pass. Follow the game plan. Trust the stall. Reset the roast. And build it. Then tag me at BBQ Beautiful with your proudest messy bite photo. Then tell me who you fed. Did you bribe your neighbor? Did your kids finally agree on dinner? Did your dad say I'll be damned? I want those stories. If you want the exact recipe, it's in the show notes. And if you want to go deeper into sauces, check out Honey Heat and our spicy chimney in the BBQ Beautiful lineup. Made for cooks like this. Until next time, keep your fire steady, your rub hand heavy, and remember, barbecue is beautiful because it brings people closer. I'm Trevor. I'll see you at the pit. Okay, it's time for our barbecue giveaway that we're calling Barbecue Brag to Win. One lucky listener will win some amazing barbecue merch that'll take your outdoor cooking to a whole new level. Whether you're a backyard beginner or a seasoned pitmaster, this giveaway is going to be for you. So what's up for grabs? First, a BBQ Beautiful bundle. This includes one BBQ Beautiful base layer, honey heat, brisket rub, and a spicy chimney from our lineup of seasonings and rubs. Next, one t-shirt and hat of your choice from the BBQ Beautiful website, www.barbecuebeautiful.ca. And of course, there's going to be free shipping. How to enter? First, make sure you're subscribed to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode or an announcement. Next, connect with us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok at BBQ Beautiful. Then share our latest episode on your stories or feed, and don't forget to tag us. Use the hashtag BBQBragToWin. BBQ BRAGTOWIN. This way we can easily find your posts. Finally, drop a comment on our giveaway post telling us about your favorite barbecue recipe, or share your best barbecue tip, pictures, or videos. And here's the kicker. For each additional entry you want to earn, simply engage with us. Like and share the posts, comment on our episodes, or even send us a voice message with your barbecue questions or stories. The more you interact, the more chances you have to win. So get creative and show us your barbecue. Let's talk about the timeline. You have until the 25th of each month to enter. You don't want to miss it, and who knows, it could be you. Why are we putting on this giveaway? Well, we want to express our thanks to each and every one of you who tunes in each week. Your support means the world, and this giveaway is our way of giving back to this amazing barbecue community that we're building together. And we really do want to hear from you. So what topics do you want us to cover in future episodes? Are there any barbecue legends or techniques you want us to dive into? Share your thoughts in the comments when you enter the giveaway. This is all about community, and we want to make sure that we're bringing the content you all love. So to recap, subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social, share our latest episode using #BarbecueBrag to win, and comment on our giveaway post. It's that easy. Get excited because this is your chance to elevate your barbecue game with some awesome gear. Good luck to everyone out there, and may the best griller win.